all with your back leg.
Is it possible for a 14-year-old middle school student to ensure that her generation and the generations that follow her may live long, healthy lives while occupying planet Earth? There's a lot of pressure. After all, there are quite a few people on this blue dot in the galaxy, and the planet is pretty big.
Oh no, you're good. Come on over.
So let's add a few more students. And how about a group of really motivated and knowledgeable teachers? And then let's toss in a bunch of really interesting scientific facts to guide them.
And of course, we'll ask some community partners to lend a helping hand.
There now, we're off to a good start. Across Virginia, there is not one, not 10, but hundreds of these middle school students who are giving the earth and those of us who occupy it some real refreshment in the form of clean air, clean soil, clean water, renewable energy, and a good dose of motivation to ensure our collective futures.
While we're learning about how things are growing and learning how to build these wonderful areas, we can also be talking about how to sustain your community by doing local food production.
That's because their teachers and Virginia Commonwealth University have come upon a great idea. Show students how they can enhance their communities while learning all the science and math that tells us why planting trees, planting plants, and cleaning up riverbanks can make our air, our water, and our earth a much cleaner place to live. Planting trees provides shade, removes carbon from the atmosphere, and helps to cool the environment, saving energy. It's called service learning, and it's having a big effect on these students.
Service learning is an academic course that students take where they do all the traditional things that you do in a class. You go to lecture and you do assignments. But in addition to that, there is a service component where they take the content that they're learning in the classroom and they look at and identify community needs such as hunger or homelessness and apply what they're learning to that. In the sciences, students who are learning about photosynthesis or plants and growing food might go and work in a community garden, and then the food that they grow could go to a local food bank or a homeless shelter. And so then when they come back to the classroom after they've done that service, they talk about how it relates to what they learn and reflect on the impact it's had in their community.
You want to dig into something, let the tangs go in to the stems right here.
The impact is being felt in communities across Virginia. Small armies of middle school students are making their mark in a variety of gardens.
Well, how does this help you in your neighborhoods and your communities at home?
We can have fresher food instead of processed food, and it can be open to the community, so we don't have to go over there and pay like $3 for a tomato, and instead of having free food right here.
It'll appear beautiful and it'll attract people to this school probably and get them to come here. Like, it'll appear as a good school basically.
We're planting flowers and vegetables in like the different beds, and we're getting 2 spots over there prepared for the other 2 beds over there.
Have you ever done anything like this before?
I have not.
What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, helping the school environment out.
What are you learning on this?
How to help the environment and how to build raised beds, because I had never done this before.
What, do you like it?
Yeah, this is actually a lot of fun. Gets me out of class.
Okay, so yes, it gets the students out of class, but not really. There's a whole lot of learning going on here. Think of it as a classroom with a beautiful blue ceiling, and instead of a chalkboard, there's a neatly placed garden of dirt and seeds and growing plants. Pay attention, because this class is learning science, technology, engineering, and math. It's all there.
It's great. You can learn out here. You can, learn doing those kind of activities in a greenhouse or out in a garden. And then when we actually give our plants to our community garden, when we gift them to the neighborhood community center, learning how what we're doing also can affect others.
I think we know from K-12 that a lot of students get turned off to science and math pretty early on in school, and much of that I think has to do with they're not seeing the connection between their real life and what they're doing in those classes. So I think the service learning gives them a really nice opportunity, particularly girls, to see how what they're learning in the classroom in math and science and technology can be applied right in their hometowns to the kinds of things that they care about.
Indeed, these young students are clearly beginning to understand how science, technology, engineering, and math skills can translate into them having the power to affect the society around them. They're learning they can make a contribution now and throughout their lives.
It feels like we've really helped not only the school but the community as well, and bring people together, the parents and the kids and different age groups. We've got to know different people from 6th grade to 8th grade, and it's really helped us get to know different people and help the community at the same time.
In the leaves, it takes in carbon dioxide and gives off oxygen, but everything needs oxygen. So when you see these big piles of mulch all over trees, what is it doing?
Killing it.
It's smothering the tree. The tree's going, can't breathe.
In Spotsylvania County, one class from Chancellor Middle School is taking their responsibility toward their community to new heights.
2, 3.
For many teenagers, it may seem like it'll take years before they can affect their community. Years. Not this group. On this cool, drizzly day, they grabbed their shovels and made a decades-long transformation to this small business district, planting dozens of brand new trees.
I know that we haven't had like the cleanest air like we can have, and when we plant trees, it purifies it more and helps us from, because so many people are cutting down trees now to build more roads. So when we replant them, it's helping us out.
They know why they're doing it, and so it's not just digging a hole and putting a tree in. They're doing it because they know that it's, it's a good thing for the environment. I'm not sure they understood about the whole, carbon sequestration, but they did understand that, yeah, this is going to take up some of the pollutants that are maybe coming off of the road and before it gets to the river, because the river is right down the road. So they know that that's going to kind of help out at least keeping the river and the waterways clean.
Many in the same group got their hands dirty a few weeks earlier by doing some real dirty work, cleaning up a bunch of garbage some folks left by dumping their trash in the woods by a riverbank. In just a few weeks, this small group of middle school students made a lasting difference in their community.
And so what we're looking for is just for you to put her name, engrave her name in it, and then you can design anything else that you want to in it.
For one family in New Kent County, the Green STEM at VCU Service Learning Project has special meaning. At New Kent Middle School, students decided to memorialize a lost friend, Shelby Bowers, a fellow student who passed away after a brave battle with cancer.
I remember when Shelby was in my class in 6th grade, she did not actually get to come to school, but she came for orientation, and I remember meeting her for the first time. But all of the kids knew her and loved her and were so gracious, and they wanted this to be a place where that she could really come back to, and they really were hoping that was something that she could do, and she never did get to come back to in 6th grade.
Along with Shelby's parents and her brother, students made a memorial stone to take to a memorial garden they decided on their own to clean up and transform into a special place, all devoted to those who were once connected to the school and are now gone.
Oh, I think it's her. This would have been right up her alley. This would have been something that she would have done for anybody else. So it does not surprise me that the kids were inspired in this way to do this, because it would have been exactly what she would have done.
These young students are now making a difference, and more importantly, they understand why.
So instead of me being one me, going out and making a difference, the goal always is, to educate them, but to also educate them on the bigger picture so they can use the content we teach in the classroom and apply it to what's going on today. And then I've got, year after year, these kids that truly want to make a difference.